trying this thing out. The electrodes, I think, are a good bit too far apart, so I'm not generating a very high volume of gas. Up here is the bubbler back there, so you can see right now it's shut off. But if I open the little valve on this little flamey thing, which I'm not going to try and ignite because I don't have anywhere near enough pressure, you'll see the bubbles come through. Alright, you see the bubbler working. But full open, that's all I'm getting is about a bubble a second. Pop, 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 pop. So I'm pretty sure I need a higher volume of gas flow to produce a steady flame and produce the HHO torch. And what we have is, that's hard to focus on, I guess. Pretty fine bubbles. It's the negative electrode on the far side. So negative on right, positive on left. Those are just stainless steel rods. And that's what's feeding out to the bubbler over here. And that's just water in the bubbler. And then that feeds out to the little torchy thing. So once I can get a decent volume, I'll have a significant push pressure out of there, so it's not an interrupted burst and a pop. It should instead be a sustained pressure enough to be able to torch. And I mean, right now, for what it's doing, right, this is the input voltage. 12.5 volts is the input current. The supply is capable of 53 amps. That's why it's got a 50 amp meter on it, and it's pulling maybe 2 amps. Alright, so 2 amps at 12.5 volts. This is, funnily enough, Fiji water, which is just what I had on hand in the garage. So I put 4 bottles of that in there, which has an average pH of 7.7. Let's see. 7.75 pH is the default. I added probably 10 to 20, now it was 10 milliliters roughly of sulfuric or hydrochloric acid, rather, not sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, which brought the pH down to the 1.8 to 2.0 pH and brought the electrical conductivity up to 9.0, 9.5 or so is what it was. But even with that in there, which makes this a acidic solution of Fiji water, it's still not producing that much at 2 amps and 12.5 volts. So the electrodes are obviously a big problem here. So I got to figure out how to better make this container, or else figure out how to better make a different container which will still have a single fitting, so I can stick this one fitting on to control the output and read the pressure and whatever. It doesn't even develop a readable pressure on this thing when it's all shut off. And it's been shut off here since I've been talking for the last minute, and it's not got anything there. You can see when I first turn it on, there's some pressurization, but it's really not a lot. You get an initial fast burst of bubbles, and then it slows down. Anyway, so I gotta up that, and it needs better electrode design with a closer spacing and a wider plate surface. I was just hoping I'd be able to get it to work with this lab glass. Focus. That's the pH meter and the EC meter that I'm using anyway. Anyway, so those are the next obstacles to finish the HHO torch. It might also be an option to try and just swap out the supply for 120 volt or the 120 VAC through a full wave bridge rectifier with series limiting capacities and feed the 120 volts in, because that'll probably reach better, might produce better volume without actually having to change anything else about it. But then we're talking about 120 VDC pulsed into the tank, which would be a little different from 12 VDC. Anyway, I'll have to think about it, see where I go from here.